Hello, welcome to Fitness with Familiar Faces. My name is Kevin. The goal of these videos are to get you moving or exercising at home. If you have filled out a PARQ form, whether it's online at a community center, if you haven't filled one out in a long time, check it out, PARQ on Google, just to make sure you're healthy to do these type of exercises. Today's exercise will be happy hearts, so a bit of marching for some cardio warm up and some stretches to help with posture. So it's good if you play some music in the background, but here we're gonna see if you can just start with some marching in spot. So if you add some marching, just like walking outside, these days it's better to stay indoors, but you can still do some movement to help with flexibility. And marching is a great way to bring the heart rate up a little bit when you do a warm up. So each exercise we do, we're gonna do for about 15 or 20 seconds. Great if you have some music in the background, something that's low tempo, or just some music you enjoy. From there, you're gonna see if you can go into a side tap. Tapping and tapping, adding a press, and the side taps helps to move your glute or hip muscles. That gives you more flexibility when you get up from a chair or in bending positions. So it's good to have some hip flexibility. This would be a side tap, pressing front shoulder and chest. And then you go into the third motion, which is a back tap. This one, opening out wide and tapping those feet behind you. So from the back angle, tapping and opening. Tapping behind and opening wide. Stretch for front shoulder chest, and the back taps help again with those glute muscles. And then from there we repeat the sequence going into your marching. So just moving the feet off the ground is level 1. You can always have a chair around you if you need support or for balance. Level 1 is just to march. Level 2 is to add a high knee. Opposite arm, opposite leg. Work your front hip flexor muscles or front hip muscles. And it also works your quad muscles or front thigh muscles. Level 1, just marching in spot. Level 2 is that high march, a little bit more challenging. The next one we go into is into your side taps, pushing out and tapping. So the feet tap out to the side. And all the exercises should feel comfortable. If you're feeling shortness of breath, pain in any of the joints, then you want to stop the exercise or find an exercise that's more comfortable for you. And then from there, going into those back taps, opening and tapping back. So I'm tapping that foot behind me, and I'm opening up that front shoulder chest. Perfect. From there we go into next 3 patterns. So seeing if you can go into a side to side motion. Side to side. Taking smaller side step if balance is a challenge. Taking a bigger side step if it's no problem. Side to side is good for changing directions when you're walking. Good for balance, being able to move sideways and backwards. And that's a side step. Then we transition into that front tap. This time, tapping and pulling at the same time. So I'm tapping that foot in front of me, and I'm pulling as well. Anytime you do upper body and lower body together, that works for coordination. Front taps are the same muscles, so quad muscles or hip flexor muscles, front of the hip, front of the thigh, that work climbing stairs or getting up from chair. Your quad muscles, your hip flexor muscles. Yeah? And then the third one we go into is into a wider stance. So this is what we call a sumo march or a wide march. That's more for your inner thighs. You'll feel a stretch in the inside of the thighs and more tightness on your glute or hips. That's a wide march or sumo march. And then we repeat those three, seeing if you can go into that side step. So going back and forth. From there, level 1, if there's feels comfortable, stay there. Level 2 is in a bit of a squatted position where you're going side to side, like a bit like if you're sitting down and you go side to side. Works more quad muscles, glute muscles, and hamstrings. That's level 2. You do with a level that feels comfortable for you. If you haven't exercised in a while, then sticking with level 1, nice and tall, will work. The next one that we went into, going into those front taps, pulling and tapping. Pulling works your rear shoulders, your upper back muscles, and is good for people that have more rounded shoulders or a slouch position when they stand or sit. Front tap with shoulder row. Yeah. Going into your wide march or sumo march. So easiest if you do go feet a little bit wider. So it's normal to have the heart rate go up a little bit more while you're doing marching exercises. These type of marching exercises could be a good warm-up if you're doing gardening outside your home. If you're getting ready to clean the house, vacuum, anything to just keep you moving until the community centers reopen again. And then we go into the third one. So for that third one, coming back into that regular marching position, if at any point any of this feels uncomfortable or you need a more comfortable exercise, the march is a good one to do. So the next exercise we're going to go into is taking a big step forward and then stepping back, going back and forth. So from the side view, stepping back and stepping forward. Helps with balance, being able to go forward and back. Works your hamstring and glute muscles anytime you go back, and your front thigh or hip muscles when you go forward. So that's the first one, going back and forth. The next one, going back into your wide stance, but this time seeing if you can reach and reach. Reaching across the body, adding that side tap. So that works your front shoulder muscles every time you tap out in front, and it works your hip muscles every time you tap with your feet out to the side. To help with preventing falls or balance, it is important to use those hip muscles. So marching, side tapping, walking forward, backward, sideways, all help. And then the third one that we go into seeing if you can place one foot in front of you, and you're going to go forward and back, moving that ankle forward and back. So front view, one leg out in front, forward and back. So that's an ankle stretch, especially people that wear orthotics. Ankle flexibility is important to help prevent falls. Pushing and pulling. 15 seconds one way. Then you have to do your other side, going forward and back. So that's a standing ankle stretch. Moving those shoulders forward and back to keep flexible in the shoulder muscles. Working your front shoulder chest every time you push, and your rear shoulders and back every time you pull. And then we repeat that sequence. So we started off with just basic march. And then into that front step, going back and forth. A smaller step going back and forth if there's any issues with balance. A bigger step if that's no problem. So these exercises can be used for a warm-up if you're doing chores at home, or if you just want to introduce a little bit more movement, lower impact, then these are good exercises to try as well. Stepping into your forward and back. Then we went into the reaching across the body, tapping and reaching. For hip strength, for flexibility of the shoulders, tapping and reaching. And then the third one we went into is your ankle stretch, where you place one foot in front, then you move your body forward and back, moving from the ankle. So it looks like it comes from the knee, but the movement starts in the ankle. So side view, one foot in front, pushing and pulling. And then you switch sides, going forward and back. After you've done a few marching exercises, get the heart rate up, it's good to do some exercises for posture. So the next one, for your shoulders, into a palm up and palm down. So if your already heart is pumping, you feel comfortable with the marching exercise, you can just focus on the palm up, palm down, feeling a stretch in your front shoulder chest and tightness in your upper back shoulder blades. You can do this standing. You could even do it marching, depending on what feels good for you. But that's to help with a more tall or neutral posture. Then for the shoulders, you're going to cross those arms and you're going to reach back and forth. For your front shoulder muscles, same muscles used as a push-up. When you push a door, push a cart. For your front shoulder muscles. And then for your hips, seeing if you can try a squat. So level 1 is having a chair around, hands to the middle, and you want to sit into the chair and come up tall. You can sit on the chair if it's a little bit taller. You can reach for the chair. Level 2 or level 3 is no chair. Sitting down and coming up tall. That's a squat. Squats are for your quads, your hamstring, your glutes. And your knees should stay behind your toes when you sit down. Sometimes people move their knee first. You want to move the hip back. To help you get up from chair, climbing stairs, give you more endurance when you walk or march. Then we repeat that sequence into your palm up, palm down. Can be marching, can be standing. Up to you. But this is palm up, palm down, stretches for your shoulder blade muscles. And this can be useful if there's any stiffness reaching up high or behind the back. Then for strengthening your front shoulder muscles, used in a push-up, pushing doors, those arms reaching up and down also can be useful for any stiffness or discomfort reaching up high or behind the back. Yeah. And then the last one we did was going into your squat motion. Hands come to the middle, sitting down into your chair and coming up tall, going back and forth. Squatting helps with leg strength, hip strength, balance. And you use it whenever you sit down and stand back up again. You try a runner stretch, front leg bent and back leg straight. So feeling the stretch along the front of the hip on the side where your leg is behind you. So there are different types of stretching. Everything we've done here has been dynamic stretches or moving stretches. You can have static stretches where you hold a joint in position. That can help if there's extra stiffness or soreness. Or you can do dynamic stretches, switching sides, where that can allow you to warm up if you're trying to do gardening, chores around the house. All forms of flexibility can help you through your day-to-day. It's just finding which one works best for you. This is standing exercises. Some people prefer seated exercises. Both are okay. It's just whatever's up to you. So this is the Happy Heart marching video. We have more videos through the City of Van channel. Fitness with friendly faces. Fitness with familiar faces. Yeah, fitness with familiar faces. But besides that, thank you for tuning in, and we'll be making more videos along too. Thank you.